If you clicked on this video, you're probably where I was around a year ago, stuck in the low ranks and just looking for anything to help you get out. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips that I think really helped me go from gold all the way up to Immortal 3 at the moment. So I put them in pretty much the order I learned them in, so it'll kind of give you guys the same pathway I took. The first 3 are things you can do pretty much instantly to get better at the game. They don't take like any practice or anything. You just got to think about it a little bit. And after a game or two, it should be pretty easy to think about and it'll make you a better player pretty much instantly. And the last 2 tips are just how to get better long term. Okay, so the first tip I'm going to give you guys is learn how to trade your teammates. Everyone loves Sentinels. Not everyone. Most people like Sentinels. So I found a clip from the game yesterday on Saturday that's a pretty good example of trading. So they're going in for an A hit here. See what happens. Even though Tens died instantly, he has 2 teammates that are able to come out of the smoke now because they just had to look up at him updrafting, right? So look what happens to Gangsta that just killed Tens. He gets killed by Sick, who got an off angle on him because Tens was occupying them, and then Sick came out for the trade. And then here's going to be another trade instantly. So while Sick is shooting at him, Dapper is coming out of the smoke and he's going to trade him. So that's textbook, right? That's a textbook trade because you can't aim at 2 people. And even if you have insane aim, Ziff has insane aim. Like, he just took out Sick, but he just can't hit that shot because he has to deal with Sick. So that's a trade. But this is how you get good at being consistent and consistently winning rounds. And if you can get those trade kills just like that, you're probably going to win the round. And let's see if they win. And of course, they win the round. Alright, so that's a trade. That's the first tip to you. Let's go on to the second one. The second tip is going to be pretty simple, because if you guys notice in your comp games, there's going to be a lot of people just instantly locking Reyna and Jett. What I had to do was learn how to play, I chose Omen, right? So everyone would go instantly lock those guys, which I think Jett's pretty fun, right? So whenever I get the chance, I play Jett. But I'd fill on Omen, and then eventually Astra got introduced, so I start playing a lot of Astra. But if you just fill a character that you like that isn't a duelist and learn how to actually help your team and like make a good impact with that character, you're gonna win a lot more of your games, especially when you can't get that Jett or Reyna that you want. And if that's not a problem for you, maybe try learning another character. Maybe not master the characters, but just learn at least 3 characters well enough that you can help your team with them and not just be an extra body. Alright, so this will be the third tip. So like I said at the beginning, this is going to be a little more advanced. When I was in gold, I definitely wasn't thinking about this, but now looking back, when I started to understand this is when I really started to rank up. And you can actually try to use your mic in game and kind of suggest to your teammates things that they might not find out if they're just in gold, just kind of casually playing in gold, you know? Here's a pretty good example I found, again, from the Sentinels game. I'm going to let it play out and kind of explain what's going on in terms of map control here, which you can definitely apply to comp games, especially when people are just like rushing stuff all the time in comp games. So this is a good example of how to beat a team that's playing really slow and trying to just like get picks on you. Sick is outside A short and he knew there was a Skye there because they flashed, and he dogged and saw the Jett. So he said, oh, there's 2A, let's start leaning towards the left side of the map. And then 2 players peek out of garage. Sick finds that out, so they say, okay, there can only be 1 on C at the very most because they know where 4 of the other players are. So that's kind of how you use map control. It's also, some people, you can call it game sense because it is finding out where your opponents are. And if you know where all 5 of the enemy teams are, you can choose what site to go to that'll be the easiest to take, right? All right, I'm gonna put the last 2 tips just together in one because they're both pretty short and simple. You just have to do it more and it will get better. So pretty much these, the more you do these, I believe the better you'll get. It'll all pay off. So if there's a fun tournament on, it's easy to watch those games and try to watch the characters that you play and think about how they're playing off of their teammates, when they're using their abilities, how they're using their abilities. For example, if you're a Jett main, look at when the Jetts are dashing onto the site. It's usually when their teammates are right behind them. Then we can also think about aim training. So I saved the most fun one for last. At least in my opinion, aim training is probably the most fun one because you can see it pay off. Like if you hit a crazy shot, you're like, wow, it's actually working. My aim's getting better. So I always try to look at the best player and try to emulate what they're doing. And Tens literally does everything he can to train his aim. So you'll hear for some people like, oh, you want to do deathmatch, oh, you just want to do aim labs, oh, you just want to do blah 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 blah. And here's him in the training grounds just shooting bots. Here's him in a deathmatch. I'm just trying to show you guys that he really does all of it, right? So, and then here's him on aim labs. So my recommendation is mix it up. So what I like to do, I like to warm up with the deathmatch, and then if I'm feeling like I want to get a little better, like I just played like crap in my comp games, I will go to the range after and do like the shoot 100 bots a little bit until I feel like I'm hitting my headshots. And then if I'm really crazy, I'll deathmatch even more after that. Pretty much just as much as you can do, thinking about only hitting the head, only hitting the center of the target, really slow it down. The speed will come later. That's how you aim train. You just make sure you don't burn yourself out and you'll get better. That is pretty much it for my advice. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Check out my other videos if you need more help with tutorials. I don't have a lot, so comment down below what you need help with. I'll see you guys. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Peace out.